All right, Speedromizer community, I know that Halloween was 2 months ago, but we're going back. Halloween, we're going back to spooky season. We're going back to get grabbed by the Ghoulies.
Hello, everybody. My name is Spagettd or Spagettd, whatever you prefer. And today I'm going to be running Grabbed by the Ghoulies on the original Xbox. With me, I have my commentator slash teacher, who is able to introduce themselves here.
Hello, my name is Kaiser. I am actually the current world record holder of every category in this game. So I have quite a bit of knowledge with this game. So, that being said, this is going to be the cutscene percent of the game, which is the full run with all of the plot and cutscene stories included.
Yep. And we'll just start the timer. The time will start after after this screen. So you can see I made a little Speedromizer save file. Yep. So we'll enter this, and then on this next screen, I'll count down for you guys to start the timer. All right, so time will start when I enter this play scene here. In 3, 2, 1, go.
And we're going to start the speed run by doing nothing for 3 minutes.
Yeah.
This is a 2 minute and 50-some second cutscene after all the introductions. You're not going to get into gameplay until about 3 minutes. For those of you who have not seen this game, the basic premise is Cooper, which is the one with the green, Amber with the pink hair, are, I believe, camping. A storm hits. Amber's like, ooh, house. That's the house in question. And then we get introduced to the Baron, whose official name is Baron von Ghoul.
Yeah, cutscene percent, as you can tell by the name, we're going to be watching all the cutscenes, which is essentially like any percent for the game. If you were to do a new game plus run, then you'd actually be able to skip the cutscenes, but on a fresh save file, they're unskippable.
Yeah, that's the main reason it's probably called cutscene percent as comparatively to this being labeled as our traditional any percent. Because if you wanted to do a true any percent with the definition of an any percent being the fastest full game run, that distinction would go to new game as compared to this, because obviously, like you said, with the new game, you can skip the cutscenes. With a full game cutscene, you are not able to do so.
One more cutscene, and then we can start, I promise.
One more cutscene, and then the game starts.
Yeah, it was cool that I got this game because I started running it, like, basically by the time I got the game chosen and I picked up a copy of the game, I actually started learning and running this in October. So it kind of fit the theme of like Halloween and stuff. All of October I was just doing runs of this. That was kind of nice. It was pretty on theme.
It's definitely an on theme. This is definitely a Halloween game, that's for sure. And this is Crivens, the butler. And he's wondering what all the noise is about. That's the noise. So, he's going to run back into his... I'll get into that room layout later, but basically he's going back into his quarters. And Cooper has to deal with these little guys.
Yeah, they might look a little familiar to you if you're familiar with like Rareware and Banjo-Kazooie.
That's a Jinjo.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, that's an Imp. My bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see where Rare. There's a lot of Banjo-Kazooie references throughout this game. It's pretty heavy. It's referenced more than just about any other Rare game that they own. There are multiple rooms where Banjo is just all over the place.
Yeah, there are references to other Rareware games, but nowhere near as many.
Not anywhere near what Banjo has. They really wanted to make sure, because this was the first game on the Xbox that Rare made, so they wanted to make perfectly clear that it was still the same company that made Banjo-Kazooie. So, as you saw at the first part, you clear out 5. You're then given an unbreakable chair to clear out the rest. That is the only unbreakable chair in the game, without use of a temporary power-up. So, going into trophy here, this is going to be focused around the QuickTime events that are going to be throughout the game. It's got a small RNG element to it, and this is not a great start. So, there will come a point in the room where Cooper, ducks down under some bats. It's going to be about halfway through the room.
That
If you are able to do... Yeah, the monkey looks familiar, the bird looks familiar. Yeah. But, so there's going to come a point here pretty quick where he's going to duck the bats. You are guaranteed 2 of those scares, and then the third it shows. This is unlucky and puts him in a little bit of an unfortunate situation, because once this happens, no matter how many scares you've gotten in the first half of the room, you are guaranteed 1. Now, because this is chapter 1 is more of a tutorial chapter, it's going to cap at 4, and the button sequence will be the same across the board. Your first scare is going to be all A, your second scare is going to be a combination of A and B, third, A, B, and X, and then of course the last one is X, A, B, and Y, as you saw. So, typically, you can get out of the room with only 3. And that's a book. We're not doing we are not doing book percent. We don't want those. Should you unfortunately pick up 5 of them, you are hit with a text box that just loses like 2 seconds, which is not the biggest deal in the world, but kind of annoying.
Yeah, they basically just collectibles that let you unlock, like, I guess, bonus mode, like mini-game type things.
Mini-games, yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So, and billiards just a walkthrough with some skeletons. And then we get more cutscene.
A lot of the rooms you'll notice too that we're going to be like revisiting. So it'll be like billiard room 2, and it's the same room, but it's going to be a different like challenge, I guess, like different enemies or something like that they swap around, but the room is still the same.
Yeah, so out of the, I believe it is 50 unique rooms in this game, you are only going to take 1 trip to 16 of them. Every other room is going to have at least 2 visits in it. And most of them that have only 1 room, most of them are tied to objectives or story-based things that we need to either grab or do.
I think the only rooms that you go more than twice, like 3 or more, is just the grand hallway, right?
That is incorrect. Kitchen has 5.
Oh yeah, kitchen.
But now we need to play the RNG game. Except it's rigged, because there's only one option.
Always there.
It's always there.
Inside of the Xbox box.
Yeah, it's weird when people say that. That's not the first time I've heard the Xbox box. But yeah, so like I said, Chapter 1 is kind of just a tutorial. A lot of these rooms are very simple, very, straightforward. There's one at the end that I wholly believe doesn't belong in Chapter 1, but we'll get to that. Right now, we gotta have a fight. For the first real rule-based challenge, which you can see the rule at the top left, we have to beat up 8 skeletons. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the trophy, and we're gonna throw it. Hopefully we're gonna get all 3. And we do. And then we're gonna beat them up.
I usually don't get all 3.
No, it's not as easy as it looks. And then we're gonna stick into the middle portion here. We're gonna get everybody around the table, and we're gonna pull the table. Because either that table weighs nothing, or Cooper's able to pull a whole billiards table.
Yeah.
And those are not light.
He's just built different.
And the reason you stay in the middle of that while they're spawning in is you don't want... If you're too close to one side, some of the skeletons will just stand there and do absolutely nothing and not actually move towards you.
Yeah, you kind of have to like aggro them so they can walk up to you.
So that's Ken. That was made by Masuswell. This is a scare. Your movement speed is now halved. You take double damage. But, as you saw, you are able to melee out of it. And then melee again. So, both of those are terms that we call scare canceling. The first portion, you can kind of shake the right stick to get out of that red orb scare. The second portion of the scare canceling is if you know an enemy is going to come out of something, you can melee to cancel the animation, which at the animation will start your movement. So it's just a way to kind of keep movement going as fluid as possible. Which scare canceling is a trick in of itself.
Yeah. Once you like get good at it, it feels pretty like satisfying, just like chaining them together.
It feels really nice.
Yeah.
And there's specific rooms coming up later that are actually really good for those who play this game or want to play this game and want to practice that. There are actually a couple rooms that are really quick, simple, easy ways to just practice that. Anyway, she fell down a hole.
Yeah, she keeps going further and further into the mansion.
We're just playing Amber Chase at this point.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're gonna head to the exit, or the door. But we gotta meet a haunted television first. This is an interesting enemy. It's not one that you're gonna kill, but it's one that's gonna cause problems because of its ability to spawn other enemies.
Yeah, they come out of the TV like the Ring.
Yeah, less crawling and more just coming out, but yeah, same concept.
Jumping. Yeah.
So as you saw with this, we now have to deal with haunted furniture. More haunted furniture. That's a haunted chair. The thing with this room is only one of them spawns active. So we're just gonna break all the rest of them and only have to deal with one chair. Take the TV, throw it, and you're done.
Yeah, there's a few rooms that are going to be like that where you basically have to destroy one at a time and then the other one like wakes up or animates or whatever. But if you leave the one who's animated at the start, just leave him alive while you kill all the other ones before they come to life. As soon as you kill that first one, there's none left, so the game's just like, oh, you finished the challenge. There's no more to break.
Yep. Yeah, you can... If something's not alive, break it first before it can get alive.
Mm-hmm.
And it will save you a bunch of time. But right now, we're just in the basement. This is kind of just a glorified walkthrough, just to get over to the actual... One of the more irritating enemies that starts to show up in this game. We do grab this crate for a specific reason, and that will become transparent here in just a moment.
I love that thrust he does.
So this is going to be the mummy. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the crate and we're going to throw it. We're then going to kind of jump forward, go from there, and then we give it a candle. Once you have the candle, you're going to take 2 swings. You're going to try and get him while he's in midair, because that will do double damage.
Yeah, and the reason you have to use the candle is because they don't take damage otherwise. You can only damage them with fire, basically.
Right. This is the room that I don't like, and anybody that knows me knows I don't like this room. This is tied for one room later in the game for the single worst RNG odds in the game. As a reminder, this is the tutorial chapter. That's incredibly lucky.
Yeah, that's pretty fast.
That's about a 17% chance that is the quickest that you can get movement, because you are hard stuck in the auto-scrolling movement until a mummy decides to pop out. The difference between the first one and the last one is about 45 seconds, and it's a bit... So, at this point, we're going to utilize the double damage mechanic again. We're going to put all of them on the ground. Once they stand back up, their next hit will be double damage, meaning that we are 2 tapping mummies instead of 3. So
Decent.
that was pretty clean. Obviously the luck was good, and the overall room itself was pretty good as well.
Yeah, I don't get those in my PB runs. It's usually pretty slow.
Neither do I. Yeah, that's a room, because I grinded the individual chapter for chapter 1. Yeah, no, it's rough. It's rough. This is an interesting room, because for those of you who aren't going to know, or aren't going to be able to know, this name of this room is Yield Archives. But you're not going to know that, because the game's not going to tell you.
Yeah.
The only way you're going to know the name of this room is if you go play it, go back into options, and go to replay scene. This is the only room in the game where that green text where it states the room does not show up.
Yeah,
So-
when I was first learning the run, I actually like would split incorrectly here because I didn't realize that was this room.
Also, he got fast animation on that. Sometimes that animation takes a little bit longer for Amber to turn around in her ghoulie form, thanks to Dr. Crackpock, or as I'm going to call him, Finbar Calamitous' uncle, for anybody who gets that joke.
You know.
Yeah, it's a character from Jimmy Neutron.
Oh.
So, yeah. But we're going to be here at the end of chapter 1. It's only 12 rooms for chapter 1. Right behind us, we're going to grab this wonderful can, which one-hit wonder, Oko, everything you touch just immediately dies. We're going to take this, and we are just not going to deal with this. We've got haunted chairs, we got a haunted television, now we have to deal with the door. Trying to fight this without the Oko is irritating.
Yeah, they're one of the harder enemies.
60 health, and they have a somewhat ranged attack, because their whole thing is that doorknob has got it's spring loaded, and it can hit you from a decent little distance away. But heading into chapter 2, we're going to get a new character. So this person being interrogated by fire is Ma Soupswell, who is actually the creator of all of the cans in the game. And as you can see, she's having a bit of a problem with this weird-looking enemy. But it looks familiar again somehow. So, you're given a fire extinguisher. And it's a fire Jinjo. Oh, wait, that's a fire imp, never mind. Wrong thing again.
Flying.
The flying fire Jinjo.
My least favorite weapon game.
This is one of the more irritating permanent weapons to use. The candle is also a permanent weapon. There's going to be anything with a gauge down on the bottom right is going to be listed as a permanent weapon. You are unable to pick any weapons up, and you are unable to do actually any physical melee attacking other than just swinging the thing in your hands. As Spagettd said, it's a little finicky. The range is a bit deceptive, and it's like he said, it's probably my least favorite one as well. Mostly because it gets put in rooms that I just don't like.
Yeah, that too.
On top of the fact, so it's just overall not a good experience. If somebody's in chat that I think's in chat, they're hyped up right now because they love this room because it's the scullery, and you know who you are. But we picked up the pot because we have another enemy. It's a zombie, and it looks like a clown.
What? Oh.
Okay. Yeah, Buzzy, you should be okay with that. So yeah, what you're going to do is we're going to throw the pot to knock the zombie down, so that way Cooper's able to do strong attacks. Because any attack that's got like a slower animation is going to do 5 damage compared to the quicker like jabs, elbows, which are only going to do 1 damage per piece, which is going to lead into a stun, into a knockdown, and then be able to do strong attacks once they're on the ground. Somebody hear music? Because I hear music. We're getting ready for music time. It's music time.
This is the party room.
This is the party room.
Also, if you're familiar with Donkey Kong 64, this sound bite, the DJ might sound.
Yes, the soundbite from DJ Mo Mummy. And I did not pull that out of nowhere. That is the official name in the code. That's the official name of this. That is DJ Mo Mummy. Right there.
Yeah, they put the DK rap DJ noises in there.
Yeah. They definitely reused that noise.
I've ran that game too, so I like instantly noticed it.
Alright, so this is going to be the first real, I would call reset point for anyone that speedruns this game. What we're going to do is we're going to very carefully stick against this back wall. And you can sneak through this, but you have to be careful because every character in that ballroom has a small circle-ish style activation box in it. If you run into any of them, you start what is going to be about a minute-long challenge to clear out the dance floor. But if you're able to kind of stick to the side, you can kind of avoid it and just avoid the whole fight.
Yeah, just like barely squeeze through. I got kind of scared there. I thought one of the other skeletons was gonna run up to me.
Ninja. It's a ninja. Wait, never mind. That's a ninja imp. Never mind. Ninja imp. So we're gonna grab the plant. We're gonna grab the freeze can, and we're just gonna kill him. We're just gonna throw a pot at him. The gimmick with this room is going to be ghoulie with key. That means there is a key inside of a ghoulie inside the room, which is different from a regular key, which is going to be held inside containers, crates, things of that nature. Ghoulie keys are easy to find because the ghoulie in question that has the key is going to kind of on and off flash as a way for you to identify which one you need to be killing.
Yeah,
instead of trying to just... Yep. But now we get to go outside of the mansion for the first time. Into this creepy looking boathouse. With this big door. And this massive human being. This is Fiddlesworth Dunfiddlin is the official name on this one.
He likes to rhyme.
He likes to rhyme. He has fiddlerisms, which are 3-word sentences that he says, which of the first and the last word all start with the same letter. It's a reoccurring theme. But you're given the water gun from his nephew, Little Willie. So you have Little Willie's water gun. This is going to be the point where I bring up, in case some of you have not seen this game at Speedromizer before, this is an E-rated game. This is not E10. This is not teen. This is E. This is flat E. This statement is going to get progressively worse as the run goes on. Because there's some questionable things in here. all kind of the comedic side of things, as most rare games like to have during this time period. Keeping in mind that the game before this was Conker's Bad Fur Day, so they kind of took a little bit of that and it kind of leaked in. So the key RNG was good. The Medusa RNG was not. If the Medusa's a little off to the right, you're actually able to cut straight through. But you got to be careful with that because you don't want to get hit, because that knockdown's it's a pretty decent long animation to get up. Also, that's a Medusa. They suck. They're just not fun to deal with. They can whip you with a little bit of range, and then they have a green light around them, where if that gets hit, you have to be forced into a button sequence, which, as you go later into the game, gets progressively worse. But that is a zombie pirate. He has a sword and a peg leg, and he will kick you with the peg leg continuously. But, so, we're here because the whole reason we were sent here is back in the kitchen, Ma Soupswell said she needs to make a potion to change Amber back, which requires 3 ingredients: glowworms, dungweed, and the chicken egg. So we've got the glowworms, so now we need to head back to the kitchen. With just this put in our way. It's not even an inconvenience because you're just going to walk past him.
Yeah, they take a second before they jump on you.
Yep, so this is the introduction of the imp's abilities to Scrappy-Doo their head, make it incredibly large, and then jump on you.
Yeah, basically they grab your ghoulie.
Let's go with that. So, back in the Lighthouse Living, we're going to do a couple things. So, these zombies are going to spawn in at designated points. And the last half of them are actually timer-based. So what we're going to do is we're going to do an initial clear out. The TV is going to spawn the one that's right there. The toilet's going to be the next one. And then at 20 seconds, it's going to be the locker. And then at 15 seconds, it's going to be the bathtub. The hope is to get 15 and end the room with 13 seconds left, which is exactly what happened. 13 is the best that you're going to be able to do. Although I know I've had times where it doesn't go that well because the TV decides I'm going to body block and get in the way. So, but for now, that's going to be the end of the stint with the water gun. In case I didn't really go over too much. The main thing there is it's able to damage any form of zombie because apparently it's holy water and it can melt zombies.
Actually, I never put that together.
Yep. I'm pretty sure there's text that states it's holy water or something of the nature.
Yeah, I think I remember that in the my original playthrough. Forgotten.
Yep. So now we're in the boathouse, and for a lot of new players, these next 2 rooms are going to cause you problems. Yeah, because you have to deal with this.
This is my least favorite enemy.
This is a hunchback. The problem with the hunchback in this game is he's got one place where you can do physical. That is so incredibly unlucky. Yeah, go up to him. You're going to want to aggro him. There you go.
Honestly, kind of just take damage.
Just take it. Yeah, you just kind of got to tank it. Yeah, the thing with this is the only way to damage this thing is kick his face. There's not another single way to damage this guy.
This is why I hate the enemy.
He is really irritating, and yep. Yeah. So what you want to do is
trying to get the boxes of barrels. They're all like behind him and stuff.
Yeah. So like I said, what we're supposed to do is you're supposed to be able to grab barrels. You can chain the barrels together, and then you can chain it with some cans to immediately kill. But the timing is a bit tight. So that's definitely an enemy that frustrates a lot of people because it can get out of hand.
Yeah, there's a whole setup I had for that, and it just immediately couldn't even do it. he went into that stance. He's immediately hiding, and then he rages.
Yeah, whenever he does that, your best thing in terms of like a backup strat is just going to be aggroing him, letting him spin, and just take the hit as soon as possible. Because if not, you're just going to be running around the room.
Yeah, waiting for him to stop spinning, which is a long time.
All right, this room, dining room. This room, you are on a timer. So each can in this game that has a positive effect is 20 seconds. So we're going to use the super weapons that last 20 seconds, and then we're going to grab an Oko that lasts 20 seconds. They're not going to sync up. You'll have the Oko longer than the super weapons, but you're going to chain that with a throwable, and you're going to hope to clear everything out of this room. changing where you're throwing and aiming is going to be helpful. Yeah. This is a room that can take a little bit of time to get right, and even if you know how to do it, it can still go wrong. Because the main issue with this room is Cooper's aiming and targeting can hit enemies if they have not despawned. So you can waste throws on a pirate zombie that's dead for all intents and purposes and still be aiming at it until it actually like disintegrates out of the room.
At this level or this room, definitely one of the harder ones for me. So I kind of already expected it to go about as badly as it did there. Fine.
It's surprising because you would think, you know, only 24 and 25 rooms in that it wouldn't scale that bad, but yeah, there's a slight difficulty spike there. What we're going to try and do here is if you can sneak past this, and it's incredibly tight. If you can sneak past, nope. If you're able to just barely, and you got to be real slow with it, sneak past that, you can make this ballroom skip 10 times easier, because what will happen is if you can get that go up and around, you will, none of the activation boxes on any of these enemies will show up or appear. Meaning you can just run straight through and run into anybody you want. Nothing will happen. It's only when that bar closes do those hitboxes actually activate. So, and that's something that was found pretty recently. I think that was the latter half of this year we found that. This is the first room that I'm going to recommend practicing scare canceling, because you're kind of forced into it.
Messed up.
Because you have to basically...
Oh my god, I'm without dying.
Ooh, that was close. That was close.
I realized as I was doing it, I was like, wait, I'm not doing this correctly. I walked through the middle of that hallway instead of to the left.
Yeah, you're supposed to kind of hang a left and then stick to the left and then take a tight line. But you can't really see it, but there's two zombies in here. Cooper's giant pot is blocking the way. This is going to be the first and one of the really only like manipulation of AIs is we're just going to force these two into the corner. You should be able to recover it decently though. There, yeah, I was about to say there you go.
A little slow though, but
that's fine. Well, we're going to start with this. This is the Reaper. This is either your best friend or not. There's no way around that. That was close.
yeah, so the Reaper will spawn in a room whenever you fail a challenge. Like in that room, I wasn't supposed to kill the purple imp. He kind of got in the way when I was fighting the zombie accidentally. So,
yep.
Which spawned
and
the Reaper.
The Reaper is going to be probably the most polarizing enemy in this game, because the pathing of the targeting is always Cooper. No matter what you do, the Reaper will always go after Cooper no matter what. However, it doesn't care about friendly fire, because it will kill anything that gets in its way. Anything he touches dies. It is a actually very accurate depiction of death. So it's able to be used in, especially in a lot of later rooms. It's going to speed some rooms up because we're going to take fights that we don't want to. And we're just going to say, follow me and you do it for me, because I don't want to do it.
Yeah, so we'll like purposely fail some challenges to get him to spawn in. Like there, like you kind of saw me use him to kill the second zombie. Kind of just like put the zombie between us and tapped him.
Yep. You just have to be careful with that, because that is a dangerous game to play. Because the longer the Reaper is in a room, the faster he speed scales.
Yeah,
and
so
if you're in a room long enough,
yeah,
it will get to a point where you cannot outrun him. The scaling is that bad that it will outscale Cooper's run ability. This room, we're supposed to be able to get all of the spiders with all of the trash cans, but sometimes, again, depending on how they spawn in, it can be a bit annoying.
I haven't done it that poorly before.
Yeah.
I missed that
Again, this is
corner twice.
Yeah. So the one over by the window with the Mini Cooper can, that's usually the one that I see people mess up the most. Because it's just a bit jank sometimes. But, so, you'll see that we are supposed to clear out 30. So the first 12 will spawn in 4 sets of 3. The next one, you'll get the remaining 12 around the big garbage can that you saw him swing. And then the final 6, we're just going to use Mini Coopers and not have to actually do a whole lot of anything.
Yeah, the reason we're not just punching the spiders ourselves is you can see like the top left where the challenge requirements were. They wanted us to only use items or like weapons.
Yep, it is weapons only. Which is funny because when we revisit this room, that same challenge shows up alongside another one. And it's great. But anyway, we're in the woodshed. That's just a flying Jinjo. Oh, wait, it's an imp. Never mind. This room is obviously you have low health. This is the room where scare canceling is probably going to be the easiest to practice because there's a bunch of it. You have, I think, a maximum of like 6 of them that you can do as well.
That's unfortunate. I didn't even
There
see
isn't
where
an-
she was.
That's the problem with that Medusa is the logs are positioned at a point where you can get blind spotted by that very quickly. There is an invulnerability can that I actually do grab. Trying to run through with this room without it is incredibly risky. Doable, but incredibly risky.
Now that you mention it, I probably should have done it for marathon safety, but I mean, I'm already committed to it. So.
Hey, we've committed to the bit. I mean, we got to do it at this point. You've already shown that it's possible, so. I mean, this might be best case scenario, honestly.
Oh yeah,
you should be able to get it.
Right?
Yeah, you should get an immediate melee off. Yep. There you go. So.
I didn't even have to melee her because she does that little like animation afterwards.
Yeah, sometimes if you kill a ghoulie, some ghoulies will either just jump or stutter, or they'll usually take a second before they re-aggro. So you can kind of take advantage of that to get a little bit of distance. That's Roger the Cabin Jinjo. We're going to kill him. So we're going to send the Mini Cooper to go do that job, because we're going to come all the way over here and set up for the second half. This guy's going to blab about he was 2 days from retirement and yada yada yada. Sorry, we got stuff to do. Cooper doesn't care about Roger the Cabin Boy. He just needs to go. This is going to be the first instance of a challenge complete can. So obviously, as you saw, it just skips the whole thing.
If only those were in every room, but unfortunately they're not. But they basically just complete the room for you.
Yes, but the keynote with them is they only complete one challenge. So because there's rooms later in the game that have 2 challenges, one after the other, it will not override both of them. It will just remove your current. So whatever the game's currently telling you to do, that is what it'll overtake. Chicken shed. You're probably thinking, well, what's in a chicken shed that's so dangerous? That thing. That's a vampire chicken. Meaning that's a vampire egg.
Yeah, so these chickens, they have a mechanic where when you kill them, they respawn basically as a vampire chicken.
Yep, so if you shoot one of the normal chickens, they will transform into vampire chickens. Which comes into play in a room much later. But the game doesn't actually tell you this. So unless you do exploring in this room, when you get to that room, you're not actually going to know how that mechanic works. And it's kind of dirty. I'm not going to lie to you. It's a bit dirty. The game doesn't straight up tell you how to deal with it before you get to that room. But at this point, we're on a timer. We're in this room. We're here. We've got a minute. We're just going to get to the door and wait. DJ, if by chance you have any donations to read, now would be a decent time.
Yeah, so nothing to read. However, as a runner, quote unquote, of Grabbed by the Ghoulies, I have to say, screw this room.
Yeah.
I think I failed this mission maybe once before. Because if you just don't if you don't clear them, if you just try to run all the way to the end, they'll just swarm you eventually.
Yeah, you'll get to the door and you will just get mobbed. You'll get to this point, you'll have 0 line of sight, and you will just get swarmed. The nice thing is,
anyways, so might as well take your time and kill some.
Yeah, rooms with door timers. Typically, more than anything else, the door timer's the longest part of the room, so you can kind of just take your time, chill out. You know, take a drink, take some time, and just get everything together. But we have the chicken egg, and now we got to deal with this guy, this little short guy who just steals our egg because apparently we're just gonna deal with a thief. So now we have to chase the thief through multiple rooms. So he's going to be over there, and we just need to go get him.
Easy enough. I don't think we explained this can that I got right now.
Yeah, so this mechanic actually showed up back in the 2 zombies that had the playing cards. This is Traitor Fever. This is going to turn every enemy in the room against each other. However, an interesting fact with this is if the Reaper's in play, the Traitor Fever will prioritize the Reaper over another enemy.
Yeah, so they just gang up on him.
Yeah, they were nice in that regard. All right, this room. We're gonna grab this plant. I'm gonna get into our next lineup spot. Missed it a little bit, which is fine. There's a lineup spot where if you aim it correctly, you can hitbox both the skeleton and that. So it's one less check you gotta do. But basically, what we're looking for is that. Is we need the chicken to go to the fire. Because it's a vampire, so you can kill it with fire. Fire and garlic, which is an item later in the game. And then this other pot, we're not actually going to throw it, but yet we got to kill. Other than the very first plant in this room, the remaining 3 of them all have spiders in them. So we're just going to throw that instead of trying to fight a bunch of mummies.
The reason I backed up there was because I got a jump scare person to pop up, and
yep,
that was gonna be really bad if I got to play it, so played it safe there.
Yeah, and the reason we want to kind of prioritize spiders, chickens, literally anything that's not a mummy, is they take ages to kill. Because you just have to beat up on them and then hope you've lined up by the fire correctly. So, once you're down to 1, you're just going to head to the exit, swing, and there's the final spider.
That was okay.
Not too bad. This is a room that it can feel good. It can feel like the room's going really good, and you'll still lose time.
Yeah, there's every room has a little bit of RNG because of the enemy placement and their movement and stuff.
Placement,
and
movements.
Also, the key placements when you have to break stuff open to find.
Yep. So we're gonna go for. That's unlucky. Yeah. So there's a trick here called Doja Cooper, where if you are able to get launched by the chairs into the door, you will bypass that scare. But it is pretty much RNG dependent, just based on how the chairs move, because you kind of need to get good movement and also have good placement as well. So, continuing the chase, he's going to run away. And we get to deal with these things. That's a haunted coat. These enemies are really annoying, because when you knock them, yeah, don't play that game. I've played that game way too many times. Trying to kill haunted coats are annoying, because as you see, when you hit them, they kind of they have slightly higher knockback value because they're lighter. So they're really irritating to deal with. On top of the fact that haunted coats will 95% of the times have another enemy inside of them.
He like had I call him a ginger. The ants come out.
Yep. But for the door fight, we just take the CC can. So now we get to fight this guy, and we're just gonna light him up. You're supposed to go around throwing a bunch of stuff at him. We're gonna do like 20 seconds worth of setup, and we're just not gonna mess around. Cooper's not playing around with this. He wants his egg back. He's gonna get it back, and we are just gonna pelt him with bottles.
Yeah, the reason why we picked up a can there next to the speed up can, which was the super weapons, and that basically makes your weapon unbreakable. For throwable items or throwable weapons, you usually have like a set amount of them before you run out. That makes them infinite.
Yeah, so that's the only other way to temporarily mimic the chair in the first room that is unbreakable. But that only does last for 20 seconds. But, revelation, apparently this is the cook's assistant. He just couldn't be bothered to tell us, 5 rooms ago when we started chasing him in the first place. We had to get all the way back here, potentially curb stop his head in, before somebody said, hey, wait, don't do that.
We have time for a quick donation?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have a $5 donation from Aomec that says, I need to hear Spagettd spiel about how Jinjo's poop.
That's all you, buddy.
It cut out for me. About how Jinjo's what?
How Jinjo's poop.
Poop. Oh, poop. I guess I'm just gonna have to riff this. Well, I would assume Jinjo's diets consist of like high fiber because they seem like little like woodland creatures. So they probably eat a lot of like grain, stuff like that. So I would assume their poops are pretty like normal and like pleasant for them. If I had to guess like the shape and size of it, they would probably be like giraffe poop. If you guys have ever seen giraffe poop before, they're like tiny little balls, like the size of marbles.
Thank you for that. That donation also went towards Don't Hug Azrael for Undertale.
For the dono,
say that whole currently is Hug is sitting at $54.25. Don't Hug is $26.08. If you want to get those donations in, ! Donate.
All right, so this is actually gonna be one of the first rooms that we're really gonna utilize the Reaper, because we're supposed to not kill the same enemy twice, but we're just gonna do that because zombies have they're pretty beefy. 40 HP is pretty beefy, so we're just not gonna do that. We're gonna make him do it for us.
Yeah, I purposely killed 2 skeletons back to back, which failed the challenge and spawned the Reaper.
Yep.
That room can be tricky, so I'm glad I didn't die there.
It can get a little out of hand. That's going to be one of those rooms where the Reaper's concept of I'm just going to play Ring Around the Rosie with you likes to really exist. Because its pathing tries to avoid Ghoulies. So it really can turn into running in circles. if they just really don't want to get in the way.
It happens a lot in my rooms.
It's not just your runs, buddy. Trust me. I've played Ring Around the Rosie with the Reaper a couple too many times. But Music Room, we were greeted by some cranky, sleep-deprived housekeeper. That is Barbara Babs Buff Brass. Most of her friends, so her name is Barbara Buff Brass, which the fact that I said that fluently first try was amazing, because when I practiced that earlier, I couldn't for the life of me say
Like a tongue twister.
But most of the other staff members of the mansion know her as Babs. And she gives you, like, the best weapon in the game, except for, like, 4 enemies. Because this thing does, I think, 30 damage per shot. Yeah, 30 damage per shot. It is the most broken thing in the game. If it had a way to hurt vampires and mummies, it would far and away be the most broken thing in the game. And even without that, it's probably still the most broken thing in the game. This thing is wild. It gives you incredible range. Oop, this got a little messy for a second.
Okay, we're good. I have 1 HP, by the way.
Yep.
So let me just recap what happened there. I got hit, which I wasn't supposed to. That summoned the Reaper. I also got down to 1 HP. I also got the jump scare up the stairs that can just like basically freeze you in one spot, and then I'd just be super dead.
Yeah.
So all of that happened in like the span of like 5 seconds.
So this creature is Jesse and Clyde. It's assuming it's a play on Jekyll and Hyde because it's very similar. You've got one side that's really skinny, and then you've got one side that's a lot beefier. It attacks with the beefier arm, and it hurts. That's probably that's probably the most aggressive enemy in the game, and going to be the one that kills you the more than anything else.
Which is why we like very rarely, if not never, kill them ourselves.
Yeah.
We choose to not fight them if we can help it.
Yeah, if we're talking about zombies being bulky, that thing's got 2.5 times that amount. Zombies are 40, Jesse's and Clyde's are 100. They are the second highest health enemy in the game. The other one being the Baron itself. But this room, there is a door timer, but with all the clearing out you have to do, you're gonna time it pretty well where you shouldn't have too much downtime. Because we're gonna pop open a Trader Fever and a Turbo. I usually pick up the Trader Fever at 5 and the Turbo at about 1 or 0. And then what we're going to do is...
I kind of just randomly grab them, to be honest.
You're good. Yeah, what you can do is you can grab the Trader Fever at 5, the Turbo at about 1 or 0, rush over. You can come a little up from the door. You don't have to be right on top of it for that to trigger. Usually it's about where she's standing.
I just play super safe there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because on my PB, actually, my current PB, I accidentally grabbed that challenge complete can before starting the second challenge in this room. So I wasted it essentially. And I had to kill the hunchback like the old fashioned way.
Yeah. And hunchbacks are just not, there's not very many of them, but you still don't want to fight them if you don't have to, or you want to make it as easy as possible to fight them.
It just takes so long.
Like, they have, I think, 60 health, but they feel like they have like 120. Yeah. Because realistically, there's only a face hitbox to work with.
And you have to like stun them first and then hit them, so it's just like the whole thing.
Kick them, get to their face, then kick their face, then wait for them to put their hand up, then put their hand down, then kick their face again. It's a whole thing. So, this room, we're going to break the rule intentionally just to make the room a little easier. Just because the Medusas can cause a lot of problems in this room, grabbing the invis is just going to be safer.
Yeah, when you're invisible, the enemies don't aggro you at all. Even the Reaper there, he just like didn't even notice.
Yep. And apparently the Baron decided to let his skeleton maids do cleaning. Might want to grab the invis.
Yeah.
Speaking of things that you can't detect things, if a room has a haunted door and you are invisible, the haunted door will not come out. However, if he had kept walking, that would have turned into a door fight.
I was thinking the beginning of chapter 3, where you just walk straight. I was like, wait, that's not this one.
That's not that one. We're too early for that. This room is kind of sucks, but kind of doesn't. It just kind of depends on how it goes.
Yeah, it's easy. It's just dumb.
Yeah.
Like I said, we have to use this weapon again. That's annoying.
Yeah. So, and the timer is not of any concern. Like, not even close.
Yeah, you should comfortably be able to beat this, even if it goes bad like it's going right now.
Yeah, even if it goes bad, even a new runner will probably finish this with at least probably 30 seconds left. Like, minimum 30 seconds. 57's probably the best you're going to get. You might be able to get away with 58 or 59. Minute means you've just done something incredibly right. But anywhere like 50s is usually pretty good. 49's not the best, but again, I've had much worse, so... Again, it just kind of depends how the fire extinguisher decides to cooperate with you. Because if it's in a situation where it just doesn't, then... Or if you forget one exists and it... Because at a certain point, they will de-aggro, and they will just become passive. After there's only so many left.
And then you gotta start chasing them around.
Then it starts
Which I ended up doing there on the last, like, 2 of them.
Yep. Speaking of chasing things around... We're not going to do that in this room.
No, I'm doing the safe strat.
The fast strat for this room is incredibly risky. So, the Ghoulie and the key mechanic is in a spider. This spider has pretty quick has movement speed faster than Cooper, will outrun Cooper, and you will just be stuck chasing this thing around. I've had... This is one of those sneaky run killers, because you can't just be running around for 45 seconds chasing a spider. And if you just so happen to also have gotten hit at some point, you're chasing a spider with the Reaper chasing you. And that's going to get ugly really quickly.
I also picked up a can there. You saw it on the bottom left with all the Xbox face buttons.
Yep.
And that basically auto completes those what would you call those QuickTime events?
Yep, so what that does is it's called shocker blocker. So in essence what that can does is it will do the sequence for you. However, it also accepts your inputs at the same time. So if you just mash buttons, it's going to compute what you are inputting plus the automatic. And it might be one of the most satisfying things in the game when you get to like the 9 or 10 button sequences and you just see this sequence disappear because you are inputting manually plus the automatic. The potion went wrong and now we have to beat up Amber.
First boss fight.
Don't feel bad because she hits like a tank. So, yeah. Like she hits hard. Really hard. And her attack speed is actually high enough to where you can just get chained and die. You can absolutely, if you get slapped like that, and he got lucky because she paused, you can just get stun locked and looped in that. You can absolutely just sit here and just eat attacks. Like, I've had a couple... When I first started speedrunning this game, I had a run where I literally got put into a corner and I could not get up because I was just getting knocked right back to the ground, and next thing you know, I was dead. It was insane.
If you don't grab that invincibility can, it's kind of GG's.
Yeah.
But she just aggroes you so quick. Like, she catches up to you so quickly.
Yeah. And the safer strat for that is actually that door over by where he picked up the bottles in the box. You can nudge yourself in there, and then because of the size of Amber's hitbox, she'll hit the door before she hits you. So that is a good backup strat for anybody that needs it or isn't comfortable trying to deal with a temporary invis can. But Masoops will fix it, and we get to leave. Except to put the estimate at 2 hours 10 minutes, so you know we're not leaving. Because we're not done yet.
Yeah.
As the first time when I was a kid, this game, I thought that was the end of the game because of how difficult that Amber fight was.
Yeah.
That took me, I think, years to try and get down. I was like, what the hell? I'm like, dude, what is going on?
And then you realize there's 3 more.
There's a whole other 48 rooms to go.
So yeah, this is the start of chapter 3, though.
Yep. So difficulty. This is where difficulty is really going to start spiking.
Mm-hmm.
I know, obviously, you have the early spike temporarily with dining and boathouse, and then the Amber fight's a spike. Chapter 3 is going to start scaling the difficulty pretty quickly. But we're just going to start with some room key RNG. And the worst key RNG. But,
that's unfortunate.
Oh, that's inconvenient. Normally what you would do is you would take that crate, throw it. That way you don't have to go all the way down to the end. But if something jumps on your head, it breaks whatever you're holding. So that's just
gonna have like enough time to throw it before he jumped on me, but he's pretty quick.
Yeah, apparently not. So, this is the room that Crivens decided to run back into at the beginning of the game, after he saw the imps. And now we are in his room, and there's even more of them. Except, what if we didn't do this? What if we turn around, break this pot, and just not do this?
What the game wanted you to do there is kill every flying imp using only weapons.
Yep, and then you clear that wave, and then a second wave would come out on top of that. There's only like 2 or 3 categories where that's even useful. 100%, and then there's a couple like personal ones that I've done that aren't official leaderboards, like all room challenges or things like that, where I kind of force myself into situations. But yeah, that you don't do this room unless you absolutely have to. Which 100% and Challenge 21 are the only 2 official leaderboards you're going to even be tasked to deal with that. But Crivens basically is like, oh, you want to help everybody that's locked up? Because if you've noticed, you've run into a couple of them that are locked up.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently it's a riddle. It's ripped up into 3 pieces and spread throughout the mansion. So we get to go running around for riddle pieces. Alright. Now we're back in housekeeping, and there's a contention point between what the worst enemy in the game is. I've heard people say Jesse and Clyde. I've heard a lot of people say Medusas, myself included. This is probably a lot of people's next worst, if not their absolute worst.
Yeah, this guy's pretty bad.
This is a warlock. He sucks. It's not great. So he's gonna teleport. We have to run him down. He has projectiles. And yeah, this room's small, so this iteration of it is not bad. There's one much later that I know 100% for a fact both the runner of this game and the host of this game can't stand. There, 2 out of the 3 people in this run don't like the next time this guy shows, or the 3rd time this guy shows up.
I mean,
Yeah, I hate it.
this room isn't too terribly bad.
Nice thing there
compared to
is you
others.
can animation cancel if you can end up close enough to the Octomatic 5000 to activate it.
That went a little weird because or maybe I ended up breaking one of the fillable boxes.
So you hit him with the frying pan into the box and it broke.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah.
When he's in that spot, you need to be careful to swing away from that or you will break it. Because what you're supposed to do is 2 swings of the dustpan, 2 box throws, and you're done.
Yeah,
But-
I had to improvise there at the end.
Adaptability is actually critical. It's kind of a critical skill for this run, in
For
all
sure.
considering your ability to know how to deal with a room, and then if it doesn't go right, how to adapt to that. If you have that ability, you will do just fine in this game.
Yeah, that's what I've learned from running this game because there isn't very many, if any, glitches. You know, like literally like 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Most of the game is just like being able to think on the fly and like reroute of all the RNG.
Yeah. But yeah, that was the upper corridor. That's just a bunch of trigger-fevered mummies. However, you doesn't make it any easier because you can still get friendly fired.
Mm-hmm.
I have definitely gotten caught on that one too many times, and I've also had a mummy thrown into me and killed. That was fun too.
Yeah, because that
But-
room puts you at 1 HP, so tricky.
Yeah, so if you get hit with anything, including a mummy being thrown into you, it will kill you. Bathroom is not too bad. So we're going to grab our Oko, we're going to grab a Turbo. That's then going to spawn a bunch of an Imp, which will spawn skeletons, and a bunch of Nimbids. We're just going to go running around the room, killing as much as we can, and then should a backup be needed, we're going to swing the giant tub. Again, this, who knows how old, can just swing a bathtub. And can just swing a couch and a picnic table. And it's really impressive what he can just swing with relative ease. It's kind of insane, actually.
I was saying on my stream yesterday that he can probably do it because he's like so scared. He has like insane adrenaline just coursing through him.
The adrenaline might just be overpowering.
Yeah.
Alright. This room is just going to be a glorified walkthrough. We're going to grab an invisibility can and just leave. DJ,
Yeah,
by
but-
chance, do you have any donations you'd like to read for a quick second?
Yeah, so nothing in real quick, but I do want to point out, if I have just a brief moment, the next run after this will be Toho 13 10 Desires, which means we will be closing out that illustrious poll that we have for that run, which is Reimu versus Yomu. Yomu's in the lead at 110 with Reimu at $93.69. If you want to get Reimu in for Toho 13, get your donations in, ! Donate. I know that a lot of the members of TRS want to see Reimu. Back to you.
All right, appreciate it. All right, so the one thing we're going to do here, and that is incredibly unfortunate, is we want to kill both Medusas before we talk to the groundskeeper. If you talk to the groundskeeper and there is even one Medusa in this room alive with any bit of health, you are locked in this room for a minute unless you know the location of a challenge complete can. But we got the lineup spot. We're going to talk to him. We're going to get Little Willie's water gun back, and we are going to leave the room.
Yeah, normally a challenge would have started right now, but like
Yep.
you said, we avoided it. That was really bad RNG though. I've never had that before. Usually I only have to wait like a second or 2 or maybe even 3 seconds, but
Yeah,
she was
Medusa,
chilling in that corner.
It just depends on movement and where the pathing is.
Mhm.
Because when you come into the room, it's just if that's just where it ends up, then that's just what it is.
Right.
So now we're in the Dunfermline Cottage Garden, and we're just gonna make our way up to the greenhouse. a bunch of pirates and pirate zombies are going to come out of bushes, and we're just going to ignore them. Not really much to this.
Yeah.
Well, that one's really tiny. Because now, for some reason, some of the zombies are tiny, some of them are bigger.
Which is like a thing that never happens again throughout the game.
Right. And now we have that. That's a vampire. There is nothing at all wrong with this vampire. Nothing sticks out. There's nothing going on here.
Nothing sticks out
Just
or
a
jiggles.
vampire. Nothing sticks out. Nothing jiggles. There's nothing here. There's nothing to worry about.
In this PG game.
There's not an attack that is incredibly suggestive at all. Nothing. It's just a vampire, guys. It's a vampire in heels walking in a coffin. There's nothing here.
That's trying to abduct you and pull you into her coffin.
That may or may not put you in the coffin and may or may not have hearts show up above said coffin. But, there's nothing here. But, however, if you kill them in this room, there's a turbo. So we can kind of get through this room just a little bit faster. Because the chicken we're looking for, not the drone, the chicken we're looking for is right here. And it is in that same spot every time. This is not a situation where ghoulie keys are not RNG based. It is the same ghoulie every time. So you do not have to worry about trying to figure out which one that is, because that would be a nightmare.
Speaking
Especially
of nightmares.
in that room. Speaking of nightmares, this room sucks. This is another run killer for sure. So it's the piece of the rhyme. We're gonna come over to the shelf. We're gonna grab a turbo. If you want to be safe about it and grab the invisibility, you can. Okay. It has its pros and cons. The main con is just time. Just because nothing can see you and nothing can move, which really loses time in the second half of this room. Yep. All right, so we're gonna break the rule intentionally. We're gonna end the challenge. You're probably thinking, well, why did you do the challenge in the first place? We want the Reaper in the room because guess what? We don't want to deal with
This guy.
none of these things. Not gonna deal with it. Remember earlier when I said we're gonna make the Reaper's problem not our problem? This great example.
Nice.
And that's good. You didn't get knocked down and you got out of the way, which is incredibly good.
So
That was
this
actually
room can
very
be really
chaotic.
tricky. Yeah, that was good because this room can be really tricky. That hunchback can either run away like immediately as he spawns, or he can do that thing he did the first time we fought him where he spins around.
Yep.
And
Although
even-
you got lucky with it once where you activated the spin
Yeah.
and the Reaper somehow avoided that hitbox and killed him mid-spin.
Yeah, that was
It was
crazy.
it was actually sick. That was actually really cool.
So yeah, that room can just go really bad. I'm glad it went as good as it did. That's actually one of the runes where I was like, am I gonna go over estimate today or not? So thankfully that's a good sign.
Yeah, that room can cause a lot of problems. All right, so we're back in Dunfinland Cottage. It's going to be a second. DJ, do you by chance have any donations that need to be read while we're kind of just making our way down to the cottage?
Yeah, so still nothing in. Just I really do want to keep plugging that the Toho 10 Desires incentive. Again, $93 for Reimu, $110 for Yomu. Want to change the outcome of that poll? Get your donations in ! Donate. And after 10 Desires, we will have the Super Mario World 11 Exit Community Showcase. And then after that, we will have the greatest JRPG of our generation, Wild Animal Racing. This is the next couple of hours you are not going to want to miss.
What's the incentive after the Tohu one? Is there another one?
Yeah,
just curious.
Let me take a look. The next incentive we have, actually the last incentive that we have right now is for Pokemon Crystal. Those are just various file names.
Oh, okay.
Has the Galaxy incentive been met?
Galaxy incentive we actually took off.
Okay.
So it's just a solo run. However, the Enter the Matrix race, we did meet that.
Ooh. Enter the Matrix. I've actually seen a speedrun of that.
We do love races in here.
Yeah.
All right. Just to backtrack a little bit, that was a worm. It, how am I trying to put this? Stiffens, and then bounces around, and then explodes. I don't know what else to tell you, man.
Thankfully, they're pretty easy to dodge, though, because...
Yeah. Basically, what you want to do is just knock them back. Yep, knock them back when you get to 1 second, and then you'll be good. This is another room that sucks, because it is a two-parter, and there's actually a lot of RNG in this room. So, there are 5 potential places the Warlock can spawn. Your perfect RNG scenario is either the barrel or the chest before the CC can. But there's more. But wait, there's more.
But wait, there's more.
The second part of the RNG is you want imps in this chest right in front of you. Because if you can do that, you can clear this second half out in 5 seconds.
Which I didn't get.
Unfortunately, they already spawned in, because there's 2 sets that were already spawned in. But that's not even bad.
Thankfully, they chase you, so even though I spawned them early, they were just right next to me anyways, behind me.
Yeah. But yeah, the perfect scenario there is early Warlock, CC can, green chest by the exit's got the flying imps, you throw that crate and you just destroy everything and leave.
Here's another room that I struggle with, depending on if the Mini Cooper wants to like betray me or not.
Yeah, I've seen quite a bit of Mini Cooper betrayal in this room on your end, unfortunately.
Yeah, I didn't mean to pick that up.
Because the thing is, when a Mini Cooper is attacking, it also doesn't care about friendly fire, and it will just hit you.
Yeah, he can attack you too.
If you're in Mini Cooper's way, it doesn't care. It's already launched the attack. It will just hurt you. But the main thing here is we're just going to run around this room. And we fought our way onto a plant, and then off a plant.
I've never gotten knocked up on the bench though, but that was weird.
There's ways to get put onto things that you're not supposed to be on. It does you absolutely no good. And it's
right, I was gonna say if there's any use to it.
Thing, but all right. So at this point, we're gonna get down to 40 seconds, and we're gonna do some can chaining here. So we have a trigger fever, and we're gonna pop this at about 40 seconds. Okay, that was kind of a big brain plant throw. I'm not gonna lie to you. Because I definitely didn't even know that he picked that up.
I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that.
There's that text box. So yeah,
that was just super convenient that he threw that at
at the exact moment.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do is from 40 seconds to 20 seconds, we're gonna make them fight each other. From 20 seconds to the end of the room, we're gonna freeze them. So realistically, in a minute and 30 long door timer, you only have to do maybe half the room of actually running around, breaking things, making sure that you're not getting hit and killed. Because the second half, you're just going to chain those 2 cans together. Another thing you can do is if you want to prove that you have skill, you can summon the Reaper in the beginning of the room and just run around in a circle for a minute and a half.
Yeah.
If you want to do that. Wouldn't recommend it if you don't know how to do it, but it's really cool if you do.
Sounds fun. Like fun challenge.
Yeah. Just like this room. Because this room's not fun. It's another room that sucks. Because this is really where the introduction of look at me, I can throw you. And anybody who knows me, that right there. That's what makes this room bad, is if you can't hit stun before that happens, you will just get thrown, and you will continually get thrown. Yeah, you were a bit early on that one.
Dang it.
There is the Oko. There's the Oko and the Turbo as well, but kind of the throw, because Cooper prioritizes throwing it at the enemy. If they're not lined up correctly, you can miss it a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Are you okay?
Oh wait,
well, you got the Turbo at least, so
yeah,
we'll be
good
okay.
enough. I can just outrun him now.
But yeah, this room is my split for this room is literally called no yeet, because that's just what they do.
I'm gonna try to go for Foundry Skip, but I haven't been able to get it in a run.
So, for those of you who haven't paid attention to this game, a glitch I found out how to make this work, I should say. So, we're looking for a very specific RNG roll here. We need a coat before we find the key. If we find the key first, we fail it. So, let's see if this is going to be nice.
This
is getting This is getting concerning, because now we're running out of options.
Didn't matter.
Yeah, I had a feeling. Once you broke 4 of them and had no coats, I was like, it's not giving it to you.
Yeah.
So what you can do is, if you are able to get a coat, you can kill the coat, but right before killing it, that Dizzy Reaper can grab it. That will spawn the Reaper as Dizzy. And for whatever reason, when you spawn the Reaper Dizzy in this room with this door, when you get to the door fight, it will pop out, but the door that's got the question mark on it will not close. So the door will come out, and you can just walk right through.
Mm-hmm. Walk past
them. It saves a chunk of time, but it is 100% RNG dependent on the execution of it.
Yeah, like I said, I haven't had it work for me. I've had the setup, but then I couldn't execute it. Like the code would just get away from me, and then it was just all bad.
Yeah, I'm glad that I was able to figure out how that works, because I originally thought that it was an overload situation where I just had to spawn everything in and then kind of just hope and pray.
Oh, okay.
But then I had one happen in a run. I kind of reviewed the footage. I was like, no, that's not how this works. And I was actually able to figure out how that glitch works.
Super cool.
And save a bunch of time. This is just a walkthrough with a fire extinguisher. The first half, this is one of the longer rooms in the game, actually. I think this is one of the 5 longest. It might be higher up than that. This is about 2.5, I think. I'm not entirely sure of split timing at the moment. Right there, you saw what happens if you're able to just mash buttons with the input. It just kind of disappears, and it is somewhat enjoyable, I'm going to be honest.
It makes you look like you're really good at it.
It makes you look like you're really good. So if you just cover up the little button thing on the bottom, you look like you're really good. Alright, so the main thing here is we cannot damage anything in the room, but we also can't get hit. The Reaper in this room is one of the worst, because if you get hit early, you are really in a bad situation. Because as you can see, this room is very narrow. And it can cause a lot of problems. But the fire imps aren't that hard to avoid, unless you get nicked with a random fireball, as I was just about to say.
And I was afraid of that one too, because that always happens.
Yeah, it can happen, but once you kind of get into this open area, it's not. Getting into that open area is the priority. If you can get into one of like the few open areas, it gives you a lot more area to work with. If you're just in one of the tiny little corridors, you may as well just run into him and go next. You may as well just run it again, because you're just not getting
GG, go next.
GG, go next. Take my life, give it back, and I want to go again.
I messed up the setup.
Yeah, there's a lineup spot for this to get 2 imps out. And now we have to deal with a mummy, and apparently you aggravated a second one.
Ugh. Oh my gosh, double stun.
I think the same guy swung twice.
Was that the same one twice?
I really think he swung twice. I really think the same one swung twice. Could be wrong, but...
Oh my god.
But yeah, this room is not difficult, just annoying. That's unfortunate.
Yeah,
this room is definitely.
I might just go next here. GG, go next.
this might be a go next.
Unless I can recover this.
Yeah, this is another room where we're really just gonna say to hell with the rules, and we're just gonna immediately break it.
Oh my gosh.
So we need to find 2 imps really quickly, and we need to get the Reaper out and just go.
Why?
Yeah, mummies start throwing their wrapping, which can't possibly smell or be anywhere near hygienic. That's gotta be. That might be the grossest thing in the game. Like, that's gotta be the grossest thing in the game, right?
Has to be.
Look, there's no way that smells good in any capacity.
Okay.
All right.
This should be fine.
I would honestly just wait at the door and hope. Yep. There you go. Yeah, getting 2 of your imps that you needed to kill killed before the room started is not great. That's really unfortunate.
Nice. That was a nice save.
Yeah, right? I kind of just, like we were just saying earlier, like, you have to improvise when stuff doesn't go your way.
Especially in this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, this, like I said, adaptability is a huge thing. I know DJ probably remembers this joke. You just need to do the gamer thing and don't touch grass. So,
the gamer thing.
Just don't touch grass. If you touch grass, a hand grabs you. So just don't touch grass. That is not me giving life advice. Don't listen to them.
Yeah. In Ghoulies, guys, in Ghoulies.
In Ghoulies. Do please make sure that you are actually going out and taking care of yourself. We do all want to care for each other and each other. This room's annoying. Especially this last Medusa, who just... I swear the AI just... They just made it a bit unhinged.
Yeah.
Because it will just spin around.
I got lucky there. Like, I missed my attack, and I'm surprised she didn't just whack me.
Yeah, that Medusa, which, conveniently enough, is the one that contains the book, if you're doing that run. It's just a bit unhinged. Alright, so this is the room I told you about earlier, where if you don't know about this mechanic, you're not actually getting past this room. Shoot the chickens, and that's how you get your vampire chickens.
Otherwise, you're just looking around for them.
Yeah, otherwise you're just looking around. The one bit of tech with this, and I actually found this out, is it's easier to grab the super weapons, hold down your fire stick, because your attack stick is the right stick. Hold that down, and then use the cameras to toggle where Cooper is aiming to go a lot faster rather than shooting, stopping. Just basically just pre-firing and continually firing, and then just using the camera to adjust accordingly.
You basically, like, turret yourself.
Pretty much. When I found that strat, I was like, oh, I'm a turret now. This is great. I love this. Yeah. If for those of you that remember, I'd mentioned that the second version of this room was going to be the weapons with another mechanic. That other mechanic is fists only. So, unless you want to sit here and wait around for a bunch of Mini Coopers to do their job for you, you're gonna just deal with the Reaper. There's not a whole lot of choice here.
No!
Yeah. I looked at that and I'm like, I don't know about that.
I thought I was gonna be quick enough, but I guess not.
It depends on the animation. Because there's different animations, and they have slightly different frame data.
Oh well.
But yeah, this is another room that can trip a lot of people up, especially casual players who are like first timing this game. Well, they're like, okay, well, I'm not supposed to use weapons, but I'm not supposed to use fists. So what am I actually supposed to do?
Yeah.
The effective what the game thinks you're supposed to do is either use the chairs to let them run into each other, like that. Either wait around for that, or there's some Mini Coopers that can be used, but
or you can use
is
this.
just quicker.
Like at this point, the Reaper's already spawned
once the
in.
Reaper spawned out, just go. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then once you get down to the last couple, a Trader Favored Mummy will come out to just help you clean up. So once you kind of know that last chair's at low health, you can just preemptively make your way to the door. And then hope that the mummy does its job.
I wanted to go for the speed up can again, but it was like too close. I didn't want to risk it.
All right. So we're going to be back in the freezer again, and this is going to be another situation where, unlike the first time we did this room, we're actually going to do something. We're going to break ice, and we're going to kick him. We'll break some more ice. So we're going to be given Oko and Turbo for this room. And we're just going to go around hauling off on everything until we can leave. Just go around the entire room and just haul off on everything. The only way you spawn the Reaper is if by some miracle you don't kill something. But as long as you have the Oko active, everything you touch will die. One thing to note with that is if you do still have the Oko active and that scare shows up, do not try to scare cancel it. You will get hit by it. When you have Oko, all of your attacks are going to be the stronger attacks, which take longer for the animation to finish. You're pretty much guaranteed to get hit by it.
What? Why did he prioritize the stupid plates and not her?
Cooper really didn't like them plates. He had something to say to my soup swell for the whole Amber incident, and apparently that was it.
So stupid. I thought I was just gonna smack the Medusa and be on my way, but he's like, no, actually, these plates.
Nah, actually, these plates. All right. There was a room that I said 2 out of the 3 people in this run don't like. This is it.
Yep.
This is one. Pretty sure I just heard DJ go, ugh.
Yep.
This is tied with Relic Store for the worst RNG odds of the game at 1 in 6. You then put a Warlock in here, and it gets dumb. You then put a Don't Get Hit rule, and it gets even worse. This room sucks. But what you can do...
Ooh.
That was actually a really good pickup, because I think that was going to break.
Not only was it gonna break, but he was about to hit me with that too.
Watch the worm. You should be fine. Maybe. You might be able to get the hits off.
Okay.
There you go.
As long as the Reaper doesn't get me.
As long as he spawns near you, you'll be okay. Nope.
Which he did
Other
not.
end of the room. Other end of the room.
Yeah.
You got a turbo right in front of you. I'd grab that.
There's this one.
Yep, grab that. Because unless you have a turbo, it's going to get to a point where the Reaper's going to outrun you.
Yeah.
So, that was good. That was definitely good, all things considered. That could have gone so much worse.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. This run was like killing my PBs for like a couple days. So that room was another one of those where like, am I going to go over estimate today? So it didn't go fast, but it didn't go slow either. So I'll take it.
Right. Didn't have to do the room twice. That's the main thing.
Exactly.
As long as you don't have to do the room twice, you're saving a bunch of time. All right. This is going to be another room where we just chain some cans together. So we're going to take an invisibility. We're going to run through. And then we're going to grab a second invisibility and pass through a door.
And we're going to hope that RNG blesses us and they don't put this enemy right by the invisible can.
Yes, because there's going to be a brief period where you're not going to be invisible. And depending on where that one's at, it can cause a lot of problems. But he was far enough away to where that's not an issue. Fun fact with this is one of the very few rooms where the Reaper does not spawn at an exit door or an entry door. He spawns in the middle of the room. There's only a handful of rooms in the game that do that. More often than not, your Reaper's going to spawn by your exit or by your entry. Speaking of Reaper spawning, minute 20 door timer, 20-second Reaper timer. So we need to figure out a defense plan, and we need to figure it out quick. Luckily, we know the defense plan. Beat up on coats. That's the defense plan. We are just going to beat up some coats. Every coat in this room is going to summon a traitor fevered enemy, who is then going to, again, prioritize the Reaper. Now, these do not have the need to have a traitor fevered can in use. I see what you did. You still somehow got away with it. It's not as you anticipated.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to do it like that, but it worked out, so I'm not going to question it. I'm totally going to say that was, like, planned, and I'm just so big-brained. Like, yeah, I was trying to use the Reaper to, like, turn the corner and, like...
use the Reaper, turn the corner, get the coat.
Frame perfectly,
totally.
Just to hit the coat, yeah.
Totally. Just whoever makes that VOD, just cut that audio, and we'll just make it feel like that was intentional.
I'm just that good.
The main thing with this room is at 20 seconds or less, you want to grab the Dizzy Reaper. Before you enter this area, at about 30 to 40 seconds, once you know the Reaper's kind of getting beat up on, you do want to do a clear check for that scare, because you don't want to be in a situation where you're running towards it and getting caught by it. Because while you have a bunch of enemies beating up on the Reaper, that doesn't guarantee anything, because he can still escape.
Yeah, he can eventually end up killing them too, or outrun them.
Yeah, he will kill them. So my recommendation for people is don't go up those stairs unless you are within the time period to grab the Dizzy Reaper. Mostly because you're going to be in a blind spot. Like, if you try to rotate the camera at the top of the stairs, you're not going to see anything. But, Attic, we're going to try and hug this wall real tight, and we're going to avoid a scare. And then at this point, this is just a maze. So, DJ, if you'd like to check if we have any donations that can be read, now would be a good time to do so.
Yeah, so we actually do have a donation from LeBron James for $19.
The LeBron James?
The LeBron James!
It says...
LeBron James loves Ghoulies.
It says, Raymu needs to be real. Slam dunk on Yomu boys. That was for Raymu, which I believe... Let me double check here. Does push Raymu to $112.69 over Yomu. So it's only a $2.69 difference. If you want to change the outcome of that, ! Donate. And that run will be coming up immediately following Ghoulies. Back to you.
Just to give a time estimate on that, you're probably looking probably about 25 minutes or so left on that.
You got 25 minutes to change the outcome of 10 desires. So if your desire is to change the outcome of 10 desires, get your donations in, ! Donate.
Your desire will be worth 10 desires.
Exactly.
Alright. Cool little trick with this. Unfortunately, it's, again, RNG dependent because it's a Warlock. If you are able to pre-fire before the cutscene starts and he spawns right there, you can get an early shot off. Once again, we're talking about a Warlock here. It is entirely RNG dependent.
Which I did go for, but he didn't spawn them.
It makes you look really cool if you hit it, so just saying. Not only does it save time, you look actually sick for doing it. But yeah, we're not messing with this. We're not messing with the second one. We have a big 4 to deal with.
Okay, so now we're at one of the... I would say there's probably like 3 really hard rooms left. This is the first of the 3. And they're kind of like back to back.
Yeah, depending on who you ask, this is the beginning of what is known in the Ghoulies speedrun community as the Big 4. So it is Crackpot's Lab, the second Experiments Chamber, the final Grand Hallway before the Baron, and then the actual Baron fight itself are 4 incredibly difficult rooms, and you have to do them all back to back. This is the hardest stretch of the game, and it's really not even close. Like, there's individual rooms that might cause problems, but in terms of sequential rooms, this is your difficulty spike. But we have the riddle back together, so we just need to get to the Baron's door.
All right, Crackpot's Lab.
Yup. All right. So we're Interestingly enough, this is the one room in the game where you cannot beat the room without spawning the Reaper. There's no way around this. For one very specific reason. The enemy that has the key, Cooper cannot kill. For the sole reason that we do not have fire, or we do not have the garlic shooter. They stuck the key in a vampire. And headphone warning, I should have probably given that out earlier. Massive headphone warning, because this room gets very loud very quickly. You got it, so just get it.
Okay, I accidentally did it there. That was just really lucky.
Nope, that was intentional.
He killed the vampire. Oh, first try.
Oh, let's go. That was really clean.
So he killed the vampire there without me even looking. I didn't even have to be there. The freaking Jesse and Clyde, whatever, just threw me across the screen.
That was a super clean Crackpot's lab. Well done.
If I was timing this, that would have been a gold, because I even got first try
100%.
T, which was crazy. Anyways, none of that matters because I'm gonna lose all that time back right now.
Yep. None of it matters because this room sucks. This room is awful. So every skeleton in this room has weapons. You have nothing except a 5 health and some ninja imps that are not very helpful.
They're low-key just useless. If anything, they kind of like make it worse.
They can cause more problems than help.
They kind of just body block me.
Yeah. Alright, you should be good to go out. Even if you get thrown, you'll be okay. Unless you get hit with the second.
Double thrown? Yeah, but I didn't die
still
somehow. Holy. Okay, we're not going over estimate. That room is so scary. Like, I played it safe there, and I still almost died.
Yeah.
So you can only imagine if you're trying to do it in a run.
Oh. One thing with this room, or with that previous room, and this is completely useless unless you know how to like actually immediately snap into the room. When the skeletons start moving, the physics engine is turned on for everything in the room, including Cooper. So if you really want to play risky, you can head up to where that first skeleton is during the cutscene. And if you get lucky enough, you can get out and save like 4 seconds. But more often than not, you are just going to take a boot to the head.
Have you tried it in a run before?
I have. And it didn't go that poorly, actually.
Oh, wow.
Alright, final room in Chapter 3. There's a lot going on here. For those of you who have any interest in speedrunning this game, I would not attempt what is about to be attempted unless you have an understanding of timing. Because what he's about to go for is incredibly tight on timing. We're going to knock the door down. It's going to get back up. We're going to swing as soon as it gets back up, as soon as we can hit it. If you mess that up, you are getting knocked out. If things go incredibly poorly, you will run out of weapons to use, because it will throw you into both of these tables.
I thought I avoided it, but the hitbox is so huge.
Yeah, this thing's got a massive hitbox on it.
Good recovery, though.
The idea is good recovery. That's a really good situation because it gives you one swing of that, which is going to help you clear out most of these imps. But yeah, for those of you who look at that and say I don't want to deal with that, there is just a normal strat where you just use some bottles and another vase to kind of make it a little less strenuous on you.
Yeah, hitting him with projectiles is way easier because you can just safely chuck them at him.
Yeah. And you're not trying to have to deal with or mess with a timing that is, if you're not used to it, incredibly difficult to learn. But that's Chapter 3. Now we get to go beat up the Baron.
Alright, this was probably the last room that I can lose a lot of time in, so I'm gonna try to lock in. Not that I wasn't locked in this whole time. I'm gonna try a little harder.
The difficulty situation in this game is interesting, because you would think that it would keep scaling up until the end of the game. This is the cutoff point for difficulty. Chapter 5, you're kind of just chilling. None of the rooms are super difficult. This is really the last difficult room, and it's the longest. It's one of, I think, it is the longest in the game. But we're gonna just slap him, and he's gonna run. He's gonna run. We're gonna slap him again. We're gonna bring out some super weapons. We're gonna slap him again. And we can't hurt him, but this giant propeller thing in his hands can. So we're gonna beat him with his own weapon.
How dumb do you have to be, by the way, that the only thing that can hurt you is your own weapon? Like, wouldn't you just get something else that doesn't damage you?
Why don't you just not drop your weapon?
Yeah.
If he just didn't drop his weapon, he'd be unkillable. Like, but no, that's phase 1. So now we're gonna get phase 2. Yeah, he likes planes. Yeah, it's the Red Baron. He likes planes. He's in a miniature plane. But one thing of note is those propeller blades hurt bad, really, really badly.
I kind of went for a risky setup there where I melee attacked him twice. Normally I don't go for that because it's really hard for me to get that attack.
Yeah.
But it worked out.
Yeah, so the one thing to do if you do want to try and speed this room up is you can chain 2 phases together. So when he was in his cutscene, if you pre-fired at him, you would spawn the zombies and the skeletons at the same time. But for marathon purposes, I can see definitely why not going for it. Just take it a little bit slower. Because obviously that's a lot to handle in the room.
I did it here.
But if you pre-fire at him, you should bring them. Yep, there you go. Yep.
Honestly, I would have gone for it with the skeletons, but he was kind of far away.
Yeah,
like
you were not going to make that. I kind of understand the range on that. You definitely were not. But yeah, the one thing you got to be careful with the Baron is getting cornered, because as I said, those propeller blades hurt, and they will melt through your health. Mm-hmm. And when I say they will melt your health, I mean you will die in about 7 seconds. You will just sit there and eat it, and it will not go well.
I remember there was times where I was like melee attacking him in his face before you get the gun, and he just killed me in like 2 seconds. My health just like melted.
Yep, it just melts your health. Because yeah, those propeller blades, as they're spinning, have active hitboxes, which means as you're getting up, you can take damage as you're standing up. It's kind of insane. But once you kind of clear out the 4 waves, skeleton zombies, worms, pirate zombies, he's going to twiddle his thumbs for a minute, apparently.
Yeah, I was going to say, what am I waiting for? I started looking around, like, is there an enemy I missed?
He just wants to twiddle his thumbs sometimes.
He was like, "Man, how am I gonna do this? I'm actually losing."
I'm losing. Let me waste like 10 seconds twiddling my thumbs to figure out what to do.
And that was really good.
Yeah, the last phase, you really just want to put yourself in a position where he's going to run into some sort of a wall with a desk, and then just shoot, and then just kind of maneuver yourself and have good movement. And he stole your egg and your girl. Feels bad. And your key. So you have nothing. You have no girl, no egg, and no key.
The 3 things a man prizes the most above everything: his girl, his egg, and his key. There's a deeper meaning to this that the developers intended. If you guys really think about it,
there's gotta be something. There's a deeper meaning. But Chapter 5, as I said, Chapter 5 is kind of the cooldown of this run. It's nothing crazy. There's nothing too complicated. There's really like 1 or 2 rooms that are going to give you problems. Other than that, you're kind of just going to take it easy. You're going to go to each room. We're going to teleport via the skeleton door, which is going to randomly teleport you to rooms in the mansion that had people locked up in them. So we're going to start by the person who, for all intents and purposes, probably needs to go to a medical facility for probably first-degree burn.
Yeah.
At minimum. Probably multiple cases of first-degree burn. And then Hunchy gets upset that we stole his friend. So what are we going to do? We're going to beat him up. There's going to be an Oko here, and we're going to intentionally break the rule just because it's easier. So wait till he stops moving, throw it, and then go.
I almost threw it too early there when he was facing away from me, so that wouldn't have worked.
Yeah. So the one thing you got to be careful of, or not have to worry about, the Reaper doesn't activate his Hand of Death until he exits the sauna area. So you can walk right past him with no issues.
Or you could just punch him in the face like I did.
Or you can just punch him in the face. You know,
like knowing after he told me that, where like he can't attack you while he's still in there, it just like made me not worried about walking up to him.
Yeah.
So like there, I was just like, oh well, I mean he's still in there. I could just punch him in the face to get him out of the way.
Yeah. Yep. All right. This room, I actually found this a little bit ago. There's now a risky way to do this, and there's a safe way to do this. The safe, consistent way is going to be grabbing this challenge complete can.
What's the risky way?
Doubling up grabbing that super weapons can, and spinning that toy box twice. Because, fun fact, yes, you have super weapons, but with big spinnable objects, it only adds one additional swing to it.
Oh, they don't become like invincible.
No, it's not a permanent thing where you can just swing it inevitably forever. But what you can do is if you get a good placement of the spiders, you can swing it once, it should knock out about 10, swing it twice, hopefully you get 10, and you can get out, and it is a little bit faster, but it is much more inconsistent. The thing with that room is if you're expecting a challenge, that's because there is one, but not unless all 3 TVs are on. If there's one broken TV, the challenge does not start and you can just leave. Which is good because it's a really annoying challenge.
Yeah,
it's kill all 3 TVs and they spawn zombies, vampire chickens, and imps.
I was gonna say, I think I was failing it.
Still have a water gun.
On my casual playthrough, I was failing it, and then you were like, just do the speedrun strat.
Just break the TV.
Yeah. Made it so much easier.
We used to break all 3, but somebody discovered that you don't need to break all 3, you just need to break just one of them. So then we started doing that, and it just kind of inherently saved time. But...
Oh, whoops.
This is something I haven't actually gone over, which I'm surprised I forgot about.
Right.
So, when a pirate zombie drops a sword...
Oh my god, please.
You can pick it up! Having the slow-mo just allowed you to be stun-locked.
Yeah.
So when you have a pirate zombie drop his sword, that needs to be the weapon you're going and grabbing. Because that will do, I think, again, 30 damage to anything that isn't a pirate zombie. But more importantly, is it will one-shot a pirate zombie. Once again, why things in this house are carrying
their weaknesses?
Their weaknesses, I don't know. I don't understand why you're carrying a sword.
That's like Superman carrying around like... Right. That's like Superman carrying around like a bag of kryptonite just because...
And then he drops it, and you just hit him in the face with it, and you're done. Like, what are we doing here?
Or like Batman carrying like a picture of his parents.
Oh, okay, that's... okay.
Too much? You hit him with the emotional damage, he's done for.
That's the emotional damage. Alright, this is going to be probably the one room in Chapter 5 that you're probably going to struggle with. In a casual, even like speedrun casual playthrough, this is the one room that's probably going to cause you problems. Just because it's candle management plus just a bunch of enemies. So what you want to do is you want to prioritize the fire on the mummies, because you can still hit the zombies if you don't have flame. You can't hurt the mummies if you don't have flame. Obviously, there is a turbo weapon, or super weapons, that does help out. But yeah, main thing here is just get everybody on the ground, get everybody to stand up, and then just start swinging. If one of the mummies looks like they're about to just TP you, then get rid of them first.
Oh,
You've
what?
still got one. Yep. Yep, that guy.
I could have sworn I hit him too. I guess I missed.
You got the hit, you just didn't get the full health. But that's the final use of the candle.
Also, this enemy is someone we never see in the run. He like comes out like twice, but we never interact with him.
We avoid it, and for good reason. Because what he'll do is he'll break his tombstone, it'll have a curse, and that basically puts you on a 30-second timer to where you either have to leave the room or kill it. If you don't do either one of those things, you die. It's instant death. So, this looks like a really annoying challenge. 3 skeletons can't kill the same thing twice. But what if we didn't do that? What if we just went down here, broke this thing open, and just didn't do that? Because that's exactly what we're going to do.
So convenient.
So convenient.
Like I said, imagine if every room had a challenge complete can. The run would be kind of boring, but
The
it would
run
be
would
funny.
be incredibly boring, but the time would be nice.
Yeah,
The one
definitely
thing
would be its
there
own category.
is if you stick to the left side of that wall like he did, you do avoid a scare from the octopus if you just stay away from the washer side of the wall. So. And this guy needs to probably sit down in a chair for about a couple hours.
Yeah, all the blood rushing to his head.
Bunch of blood rushing to his head. Also, we're just getting stupid with rules at this point. We're just gonna break the rules and leave. We're not messing around with this.
Yeah. I think you said this is the room with the most rules.
Yeah, this is the room with the most rules. 4 attacks, 4 enemies need to die, can't kill skeletons, can't kill the same enemy twice, and can't do property damage. It's insane. Trying to do that while not breaking those rules is actually insane.
It's possible.
It is possible, but it's incredibly tedious.
I thought it was one of those rooms like Crackpot's lab where like you have to break the rule.
It is possible, it's just so incredibly niche, and it is made infinitely harder for the fact that you have an AoE pop gun.
Mm-hmm.
If you didn't have that, it wouldn't be so bad.
Right.
But you have a pop gun. Alright, we're going to pull up the last kind of trick here, is if we can get a shot off, we can proc the door. Because we proc the door, little Grumpy over here won't take our gun.
Yeah, you're not supposed to have the gun for this fight.
You're not supposed to have the gun for this. You are not. You are not supposed to have the gun, but if you can shoot while you're on the stairs and activate the door, it will come out, you're allowed to keep the door, and you're good. So, at this point, DJ, if you've got any donations to read, there's just a couple rooms left just to kind of get out of the mansion. Not really much of note here.
Yeah, so I actually do have one donation for $15 from Saris the Caprine Creature, and I probably mispronounced that. And it just says, "We will get Yum." And that is for Yomu for 10 desires. We are currently sitting at $1,146.50. This is just weekend 1. And just as a reminder, we have 10 desires coming up in, I would say, 10 minutes? 10, 15 minutes-ish? So if you want to see Reimu that bad, or if you want to extend the lead from Yomu, get your donations in, ! Donate. Time is running out for that.
So
yeah, this is actually the last level of the run.
Level. Yep. The last prisoner is in the front gate. In a
funny
dog
enough,
bowl.
yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah. I don't know why she was. I don't know what she was going to be fed to. That's kind of weird.
Oh yeah.
But
Funnily enough, there's 2 dog bowls in the front gate. I don't remember the name of the other one, but you can see that the name on that one is Mingella. The name on the other dog bowl is the name of the other sister from Banjo-Tooie. It's Mingella, Grunty, and there's one more whose name I did not write down.
interesting.
But that is a direct reference to the 3 sisters in Banjo-Tooie.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Yep. Also, Mingella is the giant dog-looking red thing that you've seen throughout the run. That is Mingella, the guard dog. But we're not dealing with a guard dog. We're dealing with a bunch of ankle bladers. So,
Also, this is the only level in the game where you play as a different character.
yes, with a giant spoon. I don't know where she pulled this thing from.
Yeah, it's super random they decided to include this in the game. Not only to include it in the game, but to make it the last level. Like, I feel like it just wraps up kind of weird, but I'll take it.
I mean, from a story perspective, Cooper gets knocked out, so somebody else has to do something. So,
Fair enough. It would have been cool to be Amber or something.
I feel like that was probably the obvious choice, but they probably wanted to do something a little bit different.
Like something goofier. The giant wooden spoon.
So, yeah, how do we make this funny? Okay, let's just give the cook... Okay, what do we give the cook for a weapon? A giant spoon. A giant wooden spoon, which means all of these imps are just getting splinters. Because that thing's gotta hurt. Like, I've... Like, when I was a kid, I had one of my cousins accidentally hit me with a wooden spoon.
Slap you
That
with
hurts. It hurts.
I could imagine.
So, I know that hurts. But... that is going to be the end of actual gameplay. It's just going to be one final cutscene. He's going to wake up, have little to no idea what happened. Probably needs to go to a medical facility for a concussion. Because he got Mario out with a decent-sized bone. He got hit pretty hard. And,
almost sub 2. The time is coming up right now, though. At the end, once it shows the end on screen, then that's when the time stops. So it's going to be like any second now.
Yeah, it should be about 20, 30 seconds from now, roughly. But yeah,
honestly,
everybody saying goodbye and going on.
We're all pals now. But honestly, pretty good time overall. Like I was expecting to get like a 2:04, 2:05, but time's coming up right here, and that's time. While we're wrapping up and letting the credits play out and stuff, I just want to say thank you to Speedromizer for letting me show this run off. Speedromizer is pretty cool. This is my second year doing it. The first time I did this, it was for Fear, which was to date probably the hardest speedrun I've ever had to learn because it was super out of my comfort zone as a first-person shooter, which I like it exposes you to like different kinds of speedruns you wouldn't ever look at on your own. Like I probably wouldn't have come across this game on my own. So we're back. Oh, I don't know where it cut off, but yeah, it definitely puts me out of my comfort zone. Participating in Speedromizer, and so it's pretty cool because then you pick up games that you would have normally looked at on your own. I want to also give a shout out to not only the Grab by the Ghoulies community being super helpful and like just kind and stuff like that. I want to give a shout out to Kaiser specifically because he went super out of his way as a teacher to like help me get good at this game, because there was a lot of stuff that I just couldn't get a grasp on, and he like went out of his way to like do like basically like Discord call like training sessions, or even making like a training or like a practice or setup videos for like certain rooms and things like that just to help me out. So shout out to Kaiser for that. Yeah, I think that's all I got. Stick around for the rest of Speedromizer, and then Kaiser, if you want to give any final words.
Yeah, well, like I said, my main focus is obviously I do have a channel on YouTube, which should have shown up multiple times in the overlay. I exclusively put videos of this game, so if you have any interest in looking at this game, doing this game, speedrunning challenges, we're starting to get to kind of interesting things and things that aren't supposed to happen in the game. I know right now, I believe I'm in the middle of an upload schedule that has Ghoulies with ice physics, which was a lot of fun to do. So if you have any interest in this game, obviously my YouTube channel is exclusively just this game with just a bunch of stuff, whether it's speedrun VODs, challenge videos, stuff like that. But we do have a small Discord as well, so if you have any interest in that, I know we've got people working on decomping, trying to figure out, you know, how to do different challenges, mess with stuff, mess with stats, hit points, things like that. If you have any interest in that, definitely let me know. I'd love to see, you know, get some more people in here and just enjoy the game.
Yeah, definitely.
I do appreciate Spagettd picking this game up. I was kind of worried that it wasn't going to get picked up, but that was not the case.
Not only did I pick it up, I got pretty good at it, if I may say so myself.
That you definitely did. You have a run which is sub 2, which, in my opinion, that's kind of how I know that someone's gotten good at the game. 2 hours is kind of the benchmark.
Right.
This game.
Absolutely. Great run. Great showcase. Cutscenes were amazing. And we'll be right back with Toho 10 Desires. Stick around for that. We'll be right back. All right, Speedromizer community, we are getting set up for our next run of 10 Desires. However, my time as a host has come to an end for today, but I am leaving you in the hands of the legendary Shooky, my friend. How are you doing?
Wow, legendary! I can't believe the wise and excellent words of DJ. Incredibly humbling. Thank you.
Yeah, you all set for 10 Desires?
I am all set. I'm honestly very. I haven't looked into Toho a whole lot. Like, really, this year has been as much as I've seen, and I am completely unknown about what 10 Desires is going to look like, other than that I know it's a shoot 'em up.
The way I described it to George is the game is, everything's on fire, you're on fire, or it's like riding a bike, except the road's on fire, the bicycle's on fire, air is on fire, you're on fire, and for some reason you're getting fire thrown at you. Oh.
Well, luckily, with all of that fire and everything being thrown at us, I think we are just about ready here.